together. She woke up still in love with her husband.
And this Tuesday,
You got a hot date tonight?
will she finally uncover the truth?
All that matters is how you feel about him.
Doc, all new, Tuesday on Fox.
Thank God you guys are here.
Rob Gronkowski, I love you.
It's not just Gronk and animals funny.
It'd be the greatest moment of my life.
Sad, but probably true.
It's not just disgruntled Dennis funny.
Incoming! You three are playing hacky sack with me right now.
Okay.
It's Fox funny.
I'm the greatest military mind of my generation, and I don't walk away from anything except explosions in slow motion.
Fox Thursday is the biggest new night of comedy. And watch all seasons of Animal Control on Hulu.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Beth Jones. Devin Dagnall is on scene right now at a structure fire in Charleston. We don't have many details as of yet, but he says the actual structure is down a long dirt driveway. Multiple agencies on scene, including Charleston, Dover, Foxcroft, Bradford, Kentuskeg, and Glenburn. Some additional details he was able to give us. The structure that burned was a camper, and that unfortunately that structure is a total loss at this time. He says all the residents of the camper actually got out safely, but unfortunately some pets were lost in the fire this evening. Crews arrived on scene around 7:30, and the structure, we're told, was fully involved by that time. So we hope to bring you some additional details a bit later in the evening or tomorrow morning, but for now, that is what we know. In the meantime, a Norridge Walk man remains behind bars tonight, charged with murder. Kendall Purnell was arraigned for his alleged involvement in a murder and an aggravated assault late last week. Our Alex Schley has the details.
A Norridge Walk man accused of murder appeared in court Monday. Kendall Purnell was arraigned on charges related to a deadly incident Friday night.
Count 1, intentional or knowing or depraved indifference murder with respect to a Harold Burgess, and in count 2, elevated aggravated assault with respect to one Sean.
If convicted, Maine Superior Court Chief Justice Robert Mullins says Purnell could spend decades in jail.
Count 1 is punishable by a minimum mandatory sentence of 25 years to life. Count 2, the maximum sentence is up to 30 years in prison.
According to Maine State Police, Somerset County first responders were dispatched around 11:30 Friday night.
It's going to be 40 Walnut Drive in Norridge Walk.
Scanner transmission archived by Broadcastify captured the moment first responders entered the home.
The residence is secure. Deputies are on scene. You're all set to enter.
One responsive, one non-responsive.
Upon arriving, deputies reported finding 71-year-old Harold Burgess deceased and 38-year-old Sean Hagan with severe head injuries. According to court records, Purnell allegedly beat Hagan with a 2x4. Hagan was taken to a local hospital before being life-flighted to Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor. According to a press release from Maine State Police, law enforcement in the surrounding area were told to be on the lookout for Purnell, who was last seen driving the homeowner's vehicle. Around 1 a.m. Saturday, Waterville police spotted the vehicle at an Irving gas station on Kennedy Memorial Drive. Purnell was identified and taken to the Waterville police station for questioning before being arrested and booked into the Somerset County Jail. Purnell's next court date has not been set. In Skowhegan, I'm Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Also developing tonight, the bodies of 2 people were found this morning in woods not far from the city of Portland's homeless shelter. Portland police have identified the victims. They say both men were homeless. As Brad Rogers reports, friends of the victims say they believe the men may have died of exposure.
A man from Sudan, now living in Portland, says he found the 2 bodies at 7 Monday morning on a trail that leads from Forest Avenue to the Hannaford supermarket on Riverside.
It was both my friends.
Deng Meashol recognized the victims laying in the snow. Police identified them 57-year-old William Lease and 44-year-old Lee Thomas Johnson.
They're frozen. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
He says he ran to Hannaford and called police. The bodies were taken to the medical examiner to determine a cause of death. People we spoke with who wanted to remain anonymous say the 2 victims had beds at the nearby Homeless Services Center.
One of them just got a job, the other one is looking for work, and I don't know exactly what happened.
You have no idea why they were in the woods?
I have no idea at all.
A city spokesperson says the deaths are under investigation and could not confirm that the two men were staying at the Homeless Services Center, which is about 300 yards from where the bodies were found.
Any idea what they were doing in the woods?
I believe they were just hanging out. You know, a lot of us hang out there. You know, it's like a hangout spot, you know, to be away from the stress of the shelter.
The city has identified 5 current or former homeless encampments within a mile of the Homeless Services Center. Under Mayor Mark Dion, unless shelter beds are full, homeless encampments are not allowed and must be dismantled.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. 4 people are facing charges after police searched a Waterville apartment. It was the result of what police say was a months-long investigation related to the sale of fentanyl and cocaine base in Waterville. 45-year-old Bradford Webb, 36-year-old Katie Danforth, and 33-year-old Stephen Silcox lived in the apartment on Kennedy Memorial Drive. They were all arrested for aggravated trafficking, possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, and criminal conspiracy. Danforth was also on probation and had 10 warrants for her arrest pending. 47-year-old Nicholas Hunter was in the apartment at the time of the search. Police say he had 3 warrants out for his arrest. And officials say another search by Waterville Police and the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency intercepted a large amount of cocaine base and fentanyl being trafficked into the state of Maine. Authorities searched 36-year-old Andre Jones of Bronx, New York, as he returned to Maine. Police say they found he was in possession of nearly 300 grams of cocaine base and almost 30 grams of fentanyl. Jones is charged with 2 counts of aggravated trafficking. His bail is set at $25,000. That investigation is also ongoing. Switching gears now, Maine's Attorney General Aaron Frey has joined another coalition of attorneys general suing the Trump administration and other agencies, this time for defunding medical and public health innovation research. The Attorney General says he, along with 21 other attorneys general, are suing the Trump administration, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the National Institutes of Health for unlawfully cutting funds that support cutting-edge medical and public health research at universities and research institutions across the country. The coalition is seeking an injunction barring the Trump administration and the NIH from implementing the across-the-board 15% rate cuts presented on Friday, which create large budget gaps for universities and other research institutions. Senator Susan Collins says she is opposed to a cap on indirect costs for biomedical research funded by National Institutes of Health. She calls them poorly conceived. In a statement, Collins said, quote, "I have heard from the Jackson Laboratory, the University of Maine, Maine Medical Center Research Institute, the University of New England, and the MDI Biological Laboratory, among others, that these cuts, which in some cases would apply retroactively to existing grants, would be devastating, stopping vital biomedical research and leading to the loss of jobs," end quote. Collins says she has called Robert Kennedy Jr., the nominee to head DHHS, to express her opposition to the cuts. She says he has promised as soon as he is confirmed, he will re-examine the initiative that was implemented prior to his confirmation. Well, in other news tonight, towns in southern Penobscot County may be one step closer to getting the green light for establishing a regional ambulance service after a public hearing was held today. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard explains.
It really seems to make sense to regionalize this so that we have timely responses to crisis situations.
Representative Kenneth Fredette, a Republican from Newport, is talking about his bill LD 176, an act to establish a regional ambulance service in southern Penobscot County. He says while on the campaign trail, the Corinna Fire Department reached out to him about problems with EMS in the southern Penobscot area.
Yeah, what we understand is that Northern Light is going to be sort of pulling back on the services that they have provided for ambulance services. We know that there are other ambulance services within the area that are also pulling back. And so we sort of see this slow-moving avalanche coming right towards us. And so we need to be proactive and try to get out in front of it.
Representative Fredette says the need for the service is widely recognized in the area, and he has already received bipartisan support for the idea and his plan for implementation.
EMS is considered an essential service under Maine law. This bill allows for ownership for the provision of this essential service to remain with the municipal officers of the towns. This is where accountability for providing these essential services should remain.
Representative Fredette adds, if the legislature doesn't act soon, the situation could go from bad to worse.
Well, again, I think they recognize that we are in a crisis situation. And again, that's about staffing, that's about capital cost, and it's about reimbursement rates. And we, frankly, all have to work together so that when we know someone picks that phone up and dials 911, that someone is not only on their way, but they're on their way in a timely way.
The bill will now face a work session before being voted on by the full legislature. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Alrighty, folks, well, let's go ahead and hit pause here, peek outside, and let's get a first check of that forecast.
Thank you very much, Beth. Our first weather tonight is brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. All right, we saw a possibility of a few snow flurries out there today, especially just in between Presque Isle and Bangor, but now the skies are clearing, and that's going to allow temperatures to really plummet out there for tonight with some calm winds. For highs today, right around 27 degrees here in Bangor, 32 for Bar Harbor, 30 for Rockland, and lots of areas in those upper 20s to low 30s in the southwestern portion of the state for today. As you go up north, temperatures were cooler, 19 in Holton, 20 in Presque Isle, and only saw 15 degrees in Clayton Lake for today. As we see, the skies will be clear for tonight, and we are dropping into those negatives with those calm winds. For tonight, our forecasted low is just near 9 degrees below zero. Beth?
A frigid morning heading our way, that is for sure. Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, our Grace Blanchard spoke with a local firefighter who just returned from helping crews quell the wildfires in California. And more help is on the way to those experiencing homelessness in the Augusta area. We'll have those stories and more local news just ahead.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Fires, floods, burst pipes. Disasters happen, but the mess they leave behind doesn't have to last. For 40 years, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration has been there to help Mainers get back to the closest to normal as they can. When your property is at its worst, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is at their best, and they have been for 4 decades. Put your trust in the Bouchard team. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
For 3 years in a row, Chevy has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards than any other brand. Whether it's a high-tech SUV, the all-electric Equinox EV, or a truck for work or play, Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. Current Chevy owners can get $3,000 cash allowance on all 2024 Tahoe and Suburban models. Visit your main Chevy dealers.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
The Super Bowl's coming to town.
This restaurant is festering. I'm amazed you haven't killed anybody.
Kitchen Nightmares, Road to Super Bowl 59. All new Tuesdays on Fox.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Hello, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll have the latest news from Somerset County Court after a man has been arrested and accused of a murder in Norridge Walk. Plus, the latest decisions and dialogue from the Maine Lobster Council on the state of the industry. These stories, plus that full forecast, coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Welcome back. A local firefighter has recently returned from across the country where he was assisting crews battling the wildfires that have devastated parts of Southern California. Our Grace Blanchard shares insight into his experience and how it can help firefighters prepare for potential disasters in our state.
Augusta firefighter Richard Bodwin has seen and battled many fires over the years. but he says he's seen nothing as extreme as the latest wildfires in Southern California.
Those were some just major fire events. The weather, everything just timed up just right.
He and several other Maine firefighters and forest rangers were deployed to California after the majority of the resources out west were exhausted.
We were called kind of 2 days after the big ones that blew through, and we just went in support of what was potential to happen.
Though the worst of the flames had already passed when Bodwin arrived, Augusta's fire chief says he still returned with valuable insight.
So if we have something bigger here where we kick into the command system with its multiple layers, they're familiar with it. So not necessarily using them on the fire ground, but maybe at the command post with the knowledge that they've received through operating in something that large.
Chief Groder says Maine is no stranger to helping crews out west.
I went out back in 1989 when I first started, and these folks that have been out, they enjoy it, they learn a lot, so it didn't surprise me at all when they were called and he signed up for it.
Bodwin used vacation time to spend around 12 days out in the Golden State, and he says he would not hesitate to answer the call again.
Basically what it all comes down to is we're just there to help our fellow man, and whatever they need, we'll drive across the country and see what we can do.
In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
More services are coming to the Augusta community soon for those experiencing homelessness. The nonprofit United Community Living Center aims to assist unhoused individuals in the southern Kennebec County region. The organization recently received approval from the Augusta Planning Board to establish a low-barrier services center in Augusta. According to the nonprofit's board president, there is currently no daytime warming center in the area, and they hope to fill that gap.
This will provide the opportunity for folks to have a place to go where they're welcome to come and just hang out, or they can come and get access to services. So there will be no requirement to participate in services, but services will be available should people want to take advantage of them.
Well, some of the services they will offer include access to education, employment, and housing navigation. They are currently renovating a building on Spruce Street in Augusta, which will serve as the location of the center. St. Hilaire says they hope to start opening on weekends within the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then planned to expand their hours as quickly as possible. And there is much more to come on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
AMHG Works LLC, American-made home goods, located at the Rennie's Plaza in Bangor. Come check us out. We're open 7 days a week, featuring artisans, crafters, and manufacturers from across the United States, where everything is meticulously designed with care and pride. We also have a wide selection of pet accessories and treats. Let us be your new favorite store. We look forward to seeing you.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Starting May 1st, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles will begin issuing the new Pine Tree license plate. If you have a Chickadee plate, it will be replaced when you renew after May 1st at no additional charge. If you have a Chickadee plate number you want to keep, you can reserve it today online by searching Reserve My Plate and paying a one-time $25 fee. With your help, we can provide prompt and quality service to all Mainers. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Secretary of State.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Protesters are upset about DOGE disruptions. The Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk, is ruffling feathers at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Fox's Mark Meredith has more from Washington, D.C.
Protesters are calling on the Trump administration and its high-profile billionaire surrogate Elon Musk to change course and reopen the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Are you ready to say no to Elon Musk?
On Monday, CFPB's workers were told to stay home. Its Washington headquarters is now shut down, the White House ordering most employees to stop working, as critics say it's an attempt to loosen financial regulations.
The CFPB is there to make sure that Elon's new project can't scam you or steal your sensitive personal data.
CFPB was founded in 2011 after the Great Recession. The agency aims to protect Americans from financial fraud, abuse, and unfair practices. It says it's delivered more than $20 billion back to consumers, but not everyone sees it as a success.
And what they do is they prevent banks from engaging in what they're supposed to do.
Musk has long vowed to get rid of the agency, posting on X, CFPB, RIP. President Trump says overhauls, dismissals, and shutdowns are needed government-wide.
I got elected on making government better, more efficient, and smaller, and that's what we're doing.
On Capitol Hill, Trump surrogates insist change is long overdue.
We want to bring common sense back to our federal government and reduce spending.
More protests targeting President Trump's plans to shrink the federal government are planned on Wednesday. Demonstrators are expected to voice outrage over efforts to shut down the Department of Education. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
These sweeping changes to the federal government keep on coming, or at least the president keeps announcing them. A series of federal judges, however, has blocked several of them so far. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
In the ongoing saga of Trump versus judges, the White House seems to be losing.
I've never seen so many temporary restraining orders issued in such a short period of time against the U.S. government.
Judges have blocked several of President Trump's major initiatives, including putting thousands of international aid workers on leave and attempting to end birthright citizenship.
We think the executive order on birthright is blatantly unconstitutional.
On Monday, a judge ordered the administration to follow his earlier ruling to unfreeze funding for medical research grants, while another judge in Massachusetts held a hearing on the legality of Trump's buyout offer to 2 million federal workers. Vice President J.D. Vance suggested on X that some of the rulings were illegal, writing, "Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power."
You can't sweep that broadly. The president has authority to run the executive branch.
Now the administration is looking at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau after closing the headquarters and telling workers there to take the week off.
We are not giving up the fight to do our jobs and protect American consumers.
Many used the time off Monday to protest, saying the public needs them to police banks and fight scams. President Trump says the scams are coming from within the government.
We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse.
The White House is expected to appeal any legal losses all the way to the Supreme Court. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
New Trump tariffs on steel and aluminum imports are set to go into effect at the same time China launches 10% tariffs against the U.S. Fox's chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel now with that story.
President Trump's tariff war rages on, but this time China is responding. Mr. Trump announcing new 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports to go into effect Monday.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum?
Aluminum too.
10%?
No, 25%.
President Trump's 10% duty on all Chinese imports is still in place, which could hit shoppers on goods such as toys, clothing, and electronics. President Trump also announced reciprocal tariffs on other countries.
Every country will be reciprocal. The ones that are taking advantage of the United States, we're going to have it's reciprocity.
As payback, China slapped not one but two different tariffs on American imports, an additional 15% duty on coal and liquefied natural gas products, and an extra 10% duty on crude oil, farming machinery, and large engine cars.
There are no winners in trade wars and tariff wars. They harm the interests of the people in both countries.
China's also restricting its exports of 5 rare metals used in defense and clean energy. So far, the president hasn't announced new tariffs on the European Union, but German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said any will be met with retaliatory measures. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, our Jody Hersey highlights how one local company is making the most out of a mistake. And in sports, one Brewer senior became just the second girls basketball player in school history to hit 1,000 career points. We'll be right back.
I don't know what I did or who I am now, but I will be a doctor again.
Doc, all new, Tuesdays on Fox.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
It's time to start planning that new home or garage you've been thinking about. Hammond Lumber Company is here to help, offering complete building packages with everything you need. With several options on their website and thousands of unique plans in their in-house drawing catalog, Hammond will help you make your dreams a reality. Choose your materials from Hammond's extensive showroom displays, and Hammond will deliver your order from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Start planning your new home or garage at Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily, we offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
The bird flu is still spreading, and now there's new evidence it's mutating beyond just chickens and cows. Fox's chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt has more from Los Angeles.
We noticed that there were a few dead birds, like bodies.
It's becoming a familiar sight. Birds either dying or getting killed off because of a nationwide bird flu outbreak that has spread to cattle too. Over the weekend, a Nevada dairy worker reportedly tested positive for a newer variant that has resulted in 2 severe human infections and 1 death in the U.S. We're also seeing a spread to other animals, including a cat here in California that had to be euthanized after it showed bird flu symptoms.
There can be neurological symptoms with this, as I understand it, so that might look like circling around unusually.
And while the CDC maintains the risk to the general public is low, the economic consequences are starting to mount. The cost of eggs is still climbing, along with chicken and other poultry products. And some states, like New York, are now shutting down poultry markets, hoping to stop the spread.
Each uninfected market must sell down all inventory, undergo thorough cleaning and disinfection.
In other areas, there's been an uptick in egg theft, forcing some business owners to step up security until the outbreak is contained.
It was very scary because it's just not the money issue, but also right now, these days, the eggs are really hard to get.
So far, around 156 million birds across the country have been infected, and 959 cattle herds in 16 states. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Some grocery stores are now capping the amount of eggs that shoppers can buy. Trader Joe's is limiting egg purchases to 1 dozen per customer per day in all of its stores. And the San Francisco Standard reports some Costco's in the area have put a limit of 3 cartons per person. A nationwide bird flu outbreak has led to a shortage of eggs, as well as a major price increase for the common grocery item. The average price of a dozen grade A large eggs was $4.15 in December, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, an increase from $2.51 in December of 2023. And it's only expected to get worse. In fact, it's not uncommon right now for a dozen eggs to cost up to $12, depending on where you live. Well, McDonald's customers are spending less. Hyatt bets big on all-inclusive resorts and Disney theme park sticker shock. Fox's CJ Papa has today's Fox Business Briefs.
A mixed quarter for McDonald's. Its global sales improved in the holiday quarter, up 1%. U.S. sales declined, down more than 1%, as the fallout continued over that E. coli outbreak in October, linked to onions on Quarter Pounders. McDonald's did see customer traffic pick up slightly late in the year as customers purchased $5 meal deals and chicken Big Macs, though diners were spending less per visit. A major hotel merger, Hyatt is buying Playa Hotels and Resorts for $2.6 billion. Hyatt was already an investor in Playa, which provides all-inclusive vacations at resorts it owns and operates in Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica. And some Walt Disney insiders are concerned the company has become addicted to price hikes at its parks and has reached the limits of what middle-class Americans can afford. The Wall Street Journal says discussions inside Disney focus on whether the company is alienating parkgoers. A visit to Walt Disney World for a 2-parent family and 2 kids and a stay at a value-priced Disney hotel now tops $4,000. One-day adult passes to Disneyland in California broke the $200 mark for the first time in October. CJ Papa, Fox News.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. Our full 5-day is coming up. You don't want to miss it.
Temperatures are going to be cold tonight. Expect some negatives in our region. And then going into tomorrow, some flurries are possible once again, but moderate snowfall is expected Thursday and Sunday. How cold are the temperatures going to get here tonight? We'll have the answers coming right up.
Touches of black. They stand for elegance, refinement. They make you see everything in a new light. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
Master anything with the fastest wireless speeds from Spectrum.
Winter is a time to get outside and enjoy all that Maine has to offer. And when it's time to come inside, rest assured everything's toasty because of your Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. Push a button and you'll be snuggling up on the couch in no time. Valley Home Services offers reliable rebates, significant energy savings, and expert installation. And now save $500 off each indoor unit for all systems installed by April 1st. Embrace the comfort of Fujitsu heat pumps from Valley Home Services. Call or click today.
Hi, Todd from Dorsey Furniture here with a great financing offer on beautiful new furniture. The new introductions are here, new sofas and sectionals from Flexsteel, a new cherry bedroom by Ben & Aaron, as well as a new collection of living rooms by Leather Italia. During the month of February, qualified buyers can enjoy new furniture and take 24 months to pay at 0% interest. On sale pricing plus 24-month interest-free financing makes right now a great time to transform your home. Live well, my friends.
Touches of black. They stand for elegance, refinement. They make you see everything in a new light. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
Having a hard time breathing.
Try putting your arms above
Shut
your head.
up, Robin. The Masked Singer, Lucky Season 13, February 12th on Fox.
Thank you very much. For highs out there today, looks like we were just a little bit below average, looking at 27 degrees for a high here in Bangor, 32 for Bar Harbor, 30 for Rockland, and lots of upper 20s to low 30s in the southwestern portion of the state for today. Temperatures, they get cooler as you move north, 22 in Millinocket, 19 in Holton, 20 in Presque Isle, and a chilly 15 degrees for Clayton Lake today. Going into tonight, we're going to have mostly clear skies. The winds are going to calm down. That's going to allow for the temperatures to plummet. We're looking at right around 9 degrees below zero, showing 7 degrees below zero on the models, but with a fresh snowpack, we should get a little bit cooler. We will see even colder temperatures up north near Caribou, 13 degrees below zero, possibly getting a little bit colder than that as well in the northern portions of the state. As we go into tomorrow, temperatures will be back up into temperatures that what we saw for today, right around 27 degrees is our forecasted high for Bangor tomorrow. Getting close to those 30s once again near the coastline, especially down the southwestern portion of the state. Lots of you guys will be in the low 30s for tomorrow, and it will be a cooler day once again up north. Temperatures right around those mid to upper teens for much of the northern portion of the state. Average high this time of year, right around 30 degrees. Looks like we're going to be below that throughout this whole week, but we'll get close at some times, especially Thursday. That high right around 29. That's when we'll have some chances for some snow throughout the afternoon as well. Friday, we're going to be cooler. We'll see 10 degrees below average with that high right around 20 degrees. Saturday and the Sunday, we'll see those temperatures back up into the mid to upper 20s, but Monday next week, looks like we'll cool off once again with temperatures right around the upper teens for highs then. Winds out there for tonight have calmed down. Does look like a little bit of a breeze by the coast still, but we'll see the winds pick up once again tomorrow afternoon. Looking at 24-mile-per-hour gusts near Bar Harbor, 22 here in Bangor, and many areas up north will see some gusts over 30 miles per hour with all that red up there. As we continue on going to tomorrow night, the winds will die down once again, but we'll still see some breezy winds by the coast, gusting near 15 miles per hour. All right, so what we got coming our way for tonight, you see those mostly clear skies, but as we go into tomorrow, some clouds will move back into the area, and we'll see a nice push of some snow near the Presque Isle region, and some of that can make its way into Bangor. Very, very light chances for this to happen. We may see a few flurries for tomorrow. Otherwise, we are going to stay dry. And as we continue on, we'll just still see some partly cloudy skies going into tomorrow night into Wednesday early morning hours. Now, there is some better chances for snow later on in the week. We can see Thursday right around 10 a.m. Most of the state seeing snow. It does show temperatures with this model will be warmer, bringing freezing rain and rain. But with a lot of the other models, it does show the temperatures cooler. So we should see most of that precipitation as snow. And the same goes going into Sunday. This system does show by the early morning hours lots of snow, but you do see that rain underneath it. I do believe the temperatures will stay cool enough as we head into next week, and that will allow for more precipitation to fall as snow rather than freezing rain and rain. All right, for tonight, staying dry, mostly clear skies. Those lows 9 degrees below zero, so it will be cold out there tomorrow morning, but we will see those temperatures raise back up to near 27 degrees for the high, increasing clouds, and there is a chance that we can't rule out for a few flurries tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look at our extended forecast, as you can see, mostly sunny Wednesday, but cooler, highs in the low 20s, upper 20s for Thursday with snow likely. Looks like a drier day on Valentine's Day, highs right around 20 degrees and increasing clouds Saturday. That the chances for snow will come Saturday night into Sunday. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much. Folks, don't go anywhere. Sports is next.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole, with boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
Here comes Logano.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We'll start on the basketball court up here. It was a special moment on Friday night in Brewer where one senior made school history. Brewer senior girls basketball standout Allie Flagg recorded her 1,000th career point on Friday night against Bangor, draining a three-pointer from the Witches logo at the end of the third quarter to reach the milestone. She's the first girl in 45 years to reach the 1,000-point mark at Brewer and just the second in school history. Here's how it sounded, and she says it simply felt amazing.
God, it was amazing. It's something that I've been looking forward to for a while, and a lot of my friends drove up to watch and family, so I really wanted to get it. It felt like amazing. Literally, that's the word that I just keep saying. It was amazing, like having everyone feel so excited for me, and it was just amazing.
Like we said, Flagg is just the second girl in school history with 1,000 career points next to her name. And to do it on her senior night is something special, too. She's been a leader in the Witches Clubhouse for the last few years, which makes Friday even more special. And like any senior, even without the 1,000-point milestone, senior night is always bittersweet.
Because I know a lot of the younger girls look up to me, and they're always cheering on at the game, so to give them something to kind of work for, you know what I mean? It feels great. I think it's bittersweet. I'm lucky that I have something that makes saying goodbye so hard, I would say. To have teammates and such a strong community behind me, it's bittersweet. It's great that I was here, but I'm sad that I have to leave soon.
Big congratulations to her. The Maine High School basketball tournament gets underway in just a few days' time, tipping off at 4 p.m. on Friday. But first, the prelims for classes B, C, and D. The girls play Tuesday. Let's check that schedule out. In Class B, John Baptist hosts Washington Academy. Herman will host Belfast, and Maranacook, they take a trip up to Presque Isle. In Class C, Hodgdon heads to Mount View. Calais will host George Stevens, and Dexter welcomes Fort Fairfield into town. Machias also hosts Sumner, while Central and Bucksport play in that 8-9 matchup in Class C. And finally, for Class D, Ashland will host Washburn, Katahdin hosts Jonesport Beals, and Stearns and Southern Aroostook battle for that 8-9 spot. Wishing everybody luck there. Let's stay with some basketball now. Mr. and Miss Maine basketball semifinalists were released this weekend. First on WMTW in Portland, here are our 10 semifinalists. The award goes out to the best senior basketball players in the state. They'll get the list down to 3 in the coming weeks. We'll start on the left side with the boys. Leo McNabb of Cheverus, Ding Maywin of Edward Little, Kennebunk's Theo Powell, Gabe Lash from Madomic Valley, Jameer Rose from Noble, Manny Hidalgo from South Portland, and Emmett Byther from Old Town, along with Jace Bessie from Spruce Mountain, Crady Katie Dixon from Wyndham and Wyatt Benoit from Thornton Academy. For Miss Maine, it's Ella Pelletier from Oxford Hills, Avery Bessie from Spruce Mountain, Madeline Depre from Caribou, Julia Reed from Gorham, Lexi Morin from Brunswick, Lily Oliver from Fort Kent, Isabella Morelli from Gray New Gloucester, Katana Williamson from Madomic Valley, Aubriana Hoos from Oceanside, and Abby Morrill from Coney. Congratulations to all of them. Some outstanding careers there. Let's stay on the court now. It was a 2-0 week for Maine men's hoops as they improve to 8-2 on the year in America East play. After leading the team in scoring in both wins, Maine's A.J. Lopez earned the America East Player of the Week award. In a win over NJIT on Thursday night, Lopez led Maine with 23 points on 6 of 12 shooting from the field. On Saturday, in a dominant 23-point win over UMBC, he paced the Black Bears with 17 points and added 5 rebounds as well. It's Lopez's first time winning the honor and the 4th time this season a Black Bear has been named the Conference Player of the Week. Maine is off until Saturday when they host the University of Vermont. Finally, down to Miami, the Celtics looking to make it 2 in a row, taking on the Heat. Bam Adebayo and the Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat hosting the Celtics, who have won 5 of their last 6. First quarter, Heat up. Bam gets it at the free throw line here and knocks down the jumper. That puts Miami up by 11. Second quarter now, Celtics have erased the deficit. Peyton Pritchard, great pass to Sam Hauser in the corner. Hauser with 5 threes in the first half. Later in the half, Tatum has it on Andrew Wiggins. His step-back 3 is money. This was his first basket of the game, and it started a run that spanned all the way into the third quarter. Here he is attacking the paint, gets in the hole, and gets it to go. One more time, here he comes through contact, the and one. A 20-point third quarter for Jason Tatum. The Celtics go on to win 103-85. Right, make that 6 of their last 7 games. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
It's hard work to recover, whether it's from drugs or losing your child. Michael lived to make people laugh. I couldn't talk to family or friends that didn't get it because everyone has a solution that's never been in that situation before. I honestly did not see a change until I got myself help. How can we tell somebody to get help if we're not willing to get help ourselves?
The best bulls in the world have come to town. For bulls and their riders, those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion or nothing. This is America, and this is PBR.
It's bull time, banger. Kubota PBR Banger bucks into Cross Insurance Center March 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
Did he lose his shirt?
I've never seen anybody lose their shirt.
I guess deny and delay didn't work today. Now look at him.
Who's the law firm?
The law offices of Joe Bornstein.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
Tell the insurance company you mean business.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
This is next level.
Create a next level dish.
I'm gonna smoke those 2 floors above us.
All new season of Next Level Chef, February 13th on Fox.
Philadelphia Eagles waking up Super Bowl champions today, and as Philadelphia gears up for more celebrations, New Orleans is wrapping up a weekend that brought thousands to the city. Fox's Rebecca Castor reports from Bourbon Street.
About 100,000 fans made their way to New Orleans for the Super Bowl this weekend, and with the big game over, now the big cleanup begins. It's the calm after the chaos here in New Orleans, as work crews replace thousands of fans on Bourbon Street.
We do Mardi Gras every year, so we know how to handle big crowds. This was bigger than normal, Dad.
It was a long night of celebrations in New Orleans and Philadelphia following the Eagles' dominating win over the Kansas City Chiefs.
We knew what Saquon was going to bring. We knew what Hurts was going to bring, and we were ready for it. We knew it was going to happen.
The Chiefs are the team to beat, and sadly today we lost.
MVP Jalen Hurts and his teammates kept the Chiefs off the scoreboard for the entire first half, halting their attempt to become the first team in NFL history to win 3 straight Super Bowls.
So we have selfless guys. We have guys that don't want to let each other down. They love each other. Love is a strong thing.
There were plenty of famous faces at the big game. Bradley Cooper introduced the Eagles, while John Hamm welcomed in the Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor Swift was also in attendance, supporting her boyfriend, Kansas City tight end Travis Kelce. And President Trump made history as the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl. He met with victims and first responders who were at the scene of the terror attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day. While the party here may be over, it now moves to Philadelphia, where the Eagles will celebrate with a victory parade on Friday. In New Orleans, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
A speakeasy with a nod to the past, specifically the 1990s. Fox's Jessica Formoso experienced it and takes us behind the scenes.
It's all about the 90s Y2K nostalgia. So when you come here, you're being transported back to the days where you could rent a videos.
Yes, she's talking about a VHS. This here is a 90s themed speakeasy that has popped up inside the Virgin Hotels off Broadway in Midtown.
Every, 20 years you think about the simpler times, right? There were no cell phones, there was nothing. We have these boom boxes that we feature, so it's almost nice to go back to think of the simpler, fun things that you could do.
The experience is called Back to the Video Store, where nostalgia and cocktails collide. Created by bucket listers, the pop-up has traveled to 9 other cities, including Miami and LA.
We just thought it would be fun to have a speakeasy vibe of a bar concept that you could come and just have some 90s feelings.
A vintage wall of VHS tapes, but there are no movies inside. What you'll see is a list of ingredients for a cocktail.
This is the main wall. This is the main cocktail wall, so you're going to see shots, you're going to see all the drink titles here. Your VHS, we've got some Men in Black, maybe a Toy Story. Do you like vodka? Do you like tequila? What's your preference for it?
What do we have here?
Okay, here you're going to see your Jaws. We've got our little sharks inside floating around in a pool of blood. Here, of course, the famous Caucasian Big Lebowski. And then over here we have the Karate Kid. You've got your little chopsticks, little popcorn on top. Very fun.
Aside from drinks and food, you also have arcade games. Sasha and Sasha came for date night.
90s kids, so I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, definitely got to check it out.
I got the Big Lebowski.
Did you try it?
I will now. It's good, yeah.
And what's a pop-up without the gram? I mean, come on. Opportunity to take a photo? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I love it. I like the blockbuster theme, and she knows that I love everything 90s, video games, all of it. So this was a great date.
Back to the Video Store is now open Wednesday through Sunday until March 8th. Tickets start at $18. You can head over to bucketlisters.com for more information.
I mean, what else can you ask for? It's a 90s vibe all the way. Do you hear the music? I got my burger, my wings, and my Karate Kid cocktail. Cheers. In Midtown, I'm Jessica Formoso.
Well, Valentine's Day is a time to say I love you to those that are important to you. A couple from Heartland is turning that message into action to make sure students in several local schools feel special. They and their children put together more than 5,000 Valentine cards with pencils and lollipops. They started doing it 4 years ago, and every year they try to add a new school. This year they included Dexter Regional High School.
It just seemed like a great opportunity for us to jump on board, allowing each one of our students to feel a little special, at least on one day. Nobody gets left out, everybody gets a Valentine's. It just seemed like the right thing to do, and a great opportunity, and we were all for it.
That was really a dream of mine, to make sure that everybody felt loved on Valentine's Day and included as part of that.
Davis says it takes a couple of weeks for them to put all of the Valentines together, and she says it's worth the reward of knowing it makes someone smile and feel loved. Well, a group in northern Maine is poised to carve out a small piece of history next month right on the U.S.-Canadian border. From March 14th to the 16th, the Maine Ice Busters will be carving out the first ever international ice carousel in the middle of St. John River. The plan is to carve out a carousel with a diameter of exactly 207 feet. The center of the carousel will be right on the border, so at all times, half of it will be in Van Buren, Maine, and the other will be in St. Leonard, New Brunswick.
There's something magical that sort of happens when you step onto a rotating hunk of ice that weighs hundreds of tons. Our current world record weighs over 120,000 tons. And really, once it's turning, it only takes a breath to keep it turning. But to get it to turn is a monumental effort, and it's up to Mother Nature to decide whether she's going to let you do it or not.
Well, the Ice Busters currently hold the world record for the world's largest ice carousel. To learn more about the organization and the International Ice Carousel event, you can check it out on our website, that is foxbangor.com. Cannot wait to see the end result there. Well, accidents do happen, and so when a new 2024 electric Mustang was being delivered to Darlings in Bangor and fell off the car-carrying trailer, the dealership decided to gift it to United Technologies Center. Now it is up to the students there to repair it and make it roadworthy once again. Our Jody Hersey has the story.
I think this is the first electric vehicle that's come through the collision repair.
It's a rarity for the students in the Auto Body Collision Repair Program at United Technologies Center to be gifted a brand new set of wheels to work on. But thanks to Darlings, these high schoolers have the chance to get their hands on a damaged 2024 electric Mustang Mach-E.
It looked like a perfect project because most of the damage was cosmetic.
This car rolled over on its way to the Darlings dealership, and the whole side of the car got crushed. So we got the front fender, rear quarter, and 2 doors that need to be fixed.
High school junior CJ Yarnish has always been passionate about cars.
I think that it is a great opportunity to learn. The other vehicles that I've worked on were steel, and this one, all the body panels are aluminum.
High school senior Brady Eaglin loves the challenge of repairing this Mustang to its former glory.
Nothing is the same. Each car is different in their own way. It's like a new challenge each time. If you've seen this side, you know, all beat to crap, and you know, it'll come out and look pretty and blue like this at the end. It's gorgeous at the end.
When the repairs are complete, it will be Jadon Johnson's turn to put on the finishing touches with paint.
If you're going too fast, it's going to be too light of a coat. It's not going to work. If you're going too slow, it's going to get all runny. You got to be pretty good with your hands.
UTC automotive instructor James Luna says this has been a valuable experience for students and one they'll benefit from after graduation.
That's one of my goals, is to make sure I expose them to every aspect of collision repair. And then it's up to the individual student to take and run with that.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. We hope you have a great rest of your evening. Please stay warm, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6:30 and 10. Good night, everybody.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC 7, right now for ABC 7 News at 11.
What's up, guys? What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you shave your head
forever.
You can shave your head in 90 seconds or less with no cuts or nicks.
Introducing Remington's new and improved Balder Boss. With increased flex and 5 dual-track floating head design, get over 60% more head coverage for a faster, closer shave and skin-close results. And only through this exclusive TV offer, now you can try it in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. Balder Boss is the fast, easy, safe way to shave your head, wet or dry, in 90 seconds or less, without nicks or cuts.
No nicks, no scrapes, fit in the palm of my hand, and the results were amazing.
The 360-degree pivoting neck contours closely around your head curves for maximum contact, anytime, anywhere, in 90 seconds or less. With exclusive Wet Tech technology, shave in the shower, or with any foam or gel. Japanese-grade steel blades and turbo power plow through the thickest of hair, yet gentle enough it won't irritate skin. With pure lithium power that lasts up to an incredible 60 minutes. That's like 1 full month of use without a recharge. Then easily rinses clean. There's even a pop-up trimmer to complete your perfect groom. Now you can try the Remington Balder Boss in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. But wait, order now and we'll ship it to you absolutely free. You can also get our ear, nose, and brow trimmer for the ultimate groom. Free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Every Balder Boss comes with a 5-year limited warranty where durability is guaranteed, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't absolutely love it, send it back, but keep the trimmer as our gift just for trying.
I got a clean, nice, smooth shave in under 90 seconds. No nicks, no cuts.
So order now.
At 11.
2 pets were lost